Enya NEXG2. This guitar is super cool and it's loaded with features. It is basically marketed towards, I think, every single kind of guitar player imaginable. This is the sort of guitar you could teach with, you could gig with, or you could just jam at home with. In fact, it's got a Bluetooth speaker inside it, so if you wanted to, you could even use it as a speaker or a music playing device. One of my favorite things about this guitar is the quality of the speaker, the quality of the build, and the amount of features that Enya have managed to pack into one package. It is absolutely tremendous that in this day and age we can have a guitar that can play you backing tracks, provide a looper, and also have a speaker which can output microphone as well as the guitar tone itself. I've used this guitar extensively with my teaching. Although I haven't gigged with it yet, I'm a huge fan of it and will most likely end up using it for 1 or 2 gigs, especially for the loop function. The Enya NEXG2 comes with a loop pedal that comes in the box with the actual guitar itself, as well as a microphone and some headphones. And all of these come in one package. The guitar itself is akin to, I would say, not quite a full-size acoustic guitar, but somewhere in the middle. It's comfortable enough to carry around portably, but still large enough that, gap between your picking hand and your strumming hand doesn't feel too narrow, too close together. You don't feel like you're cramped up trying to play this instrument, and I really like that. Considering it's got a bit of a sleek and futuristic design where instead of a sound hole, we've got our Bluetooth speaker that lives inside here. By the way, amazing quality Bluetooth speaker. It's got such a nice bass and mid response. And one issue I always have plugging in an acoustic guitar via DI is if you don't have a preamp or you don't have an EQ, sometimes you either get too much bass or way too much highs. Whereas I feel with this guitar, and that's just a microphone on the camera there, you get such a rich and perfectly balanced tone. There's also an app on the App Store that you can download, and using that app you can twiddle with the EQ and stuff. I've found that unless I wanted to, add a little bit of extra to the 1000 range, just to have a little bit more of a high frequency when I'm doing stuff like solos and my loops, typically I wouldn't touch it, just because it felt like it was already balanced so well. The Enya NEXG2 comes packed with 20 frets, so you've got a little bit of high access up here. If you're playing solos and stuff, you can kind of get up there, and in fact you can go all the way up to that A minor pentatonic pretty comfortably. The cutout here, although it doesn't look like it's perfectly made for a hand to fit, I can assure you with the way the neck joint is done, feels really good. You can see there it's contoured perfectly so that your palm can just rest and cut inside. Some other things I really like about the body and the way that this guitar is designed is we've got the Enya tuners, again, which are really, really amazing. They feel great to turn, they have a nice stiffness to them, and it almost feels like they're staying in tune all the time. I'll be honest, this guitar doesn't go out of tune much. Surprised me, especially. I was under the impression that maybe I could get an hour and a half out of it before maybe, our G string at the very least would be out. But no, these tuners are awesome. It keeps tune really well. I think the fact that it's got this carbon fiber build helps a lot with the whole tuning stability thing. Heat, cold, and, humidity and stuff don't really affect the neck. And so there's no micro warping or bending that would cause any tuning issues. This guitar has stayed in tune wonderfully. It's an Enya guitar. You know what you're getting. You're getting specifically robotically made frets that sit perfectly on this neck. It's all kind of mathematically perfectly aligned and stuff. And even though obviously you would get that with most guitar dealers, we all know that sometimes even, if you spend upwards to $1,500 to $2,000 on a brand new guitar, sometimes there's issues with the frets, but obviously here, that's not a problem. Again, talking about the tuning stability, 0 fret, just to help with that a little bit more. The way that the upper portion here is designed to get your arm over the top is quite interesting. I don't know why Enya have done it this way. It's comfortable enough. What you basically have is a handle which simultaneously acts as, the upper part of your guitar to put your arm over. But what I found interesting was you clip it in tighten it, and using where you would typically put your strap on the screws here, you tighten those back and it clips this upper section into place. Apart from using it like a handle, it also helps the user see the control panel, which is right there on the side, just underneath it there. I don't know if you can see it very well. And this control panel is interesting because it has a touchscreen feature as well as having a foot switch. Now, using the foot switch, you can actually basically access all of the features. One feature I haven't been able to do with the foot switch is pick which drum beat I'm using, but you can do that using the phone app. The way I picture somebody using this guitar in a commercial setting is perhaps they have their phone next to them with the mixer on and all of the guitar tones that you can change to, and then you've got the foot switch obviously under your feet that you'd be using for some of the other features like changing tones or starting the loop, cutting the loop, and all that kind of stuff. The guitar is extremely versatile in that you can just use the interface here to do all your looping and tone changing and opening up the tuner or accessing the Bluetooth. You can use the phone app, and then you can also obviously use the foot switch. I think what Enya have done is awesome because you essentially have a trifecta of access. You know, you've got ways to access the features using a phone app as well as the foot switch as well as the control panel. And it's so, as a player, it's kind of like, okay, I've got all my bases covered. I can actually just worry about my playing for the most part. And you don't have to buy any third-party equipment. It's all in the one package. So just to continue on, some of the extras that you get with this guitar include the microphone, which is Bluetooth connected to the guitar itself. So I can flick this guy on, and voila, I can talk. There's a lot of reverb on it right now. I was messing around with the app earlier, but you can turn the reverb down so it doesn't sound like you're in an echo chamber church hall. The good thing about this microphone is you can activate the microphone, hand it to a friend or somebody else that you're gigging with, and they can sing. Or obviously you can set it up on a stand and you can sing while you play guitar. And it all comes through the one balanced speaker. And again, like I said earlier, using the phone app, hey, vocals too loud? Just put that slider down and we can put the vocals down a little bit in volume. The other accessory that comes with the Enya is actually these lovely kind of in-ear style headphones. Now, these feel very comfortable in the ear, and I think if you are going to be playing with headphones with this kind of setup where maybe you're practicing at home or you need it for a recording situation, these are quite nice. They fit into the ear really comfortably. They've got that whole in-ear monitor kind of larger piece here which fits into your ear nicely. It keeps everything enclosed. I don't know what the name for it is. I seldom use earpieces and things when I play guitar or when I play music. I typically try to hear things from kind of your bog standard speakers and stuff. But I think these are great, and the fact that they've been added is awesome too, because they're a little bit more portable, I guess, than big headphones as well. And there's obviously the reason why they've been provided is on the Enya itself, there's a headphone port so that if you want to practice quietly, that's an option as well. Lastly, but not leastly by any means, is the actual foot switch. And the foot switch is amazing because using this thing, you can enter the looper, you can change what tone you're using. There's a heap of features on this thing. Now, for me, I just use it for the looper and to change tones. But once you guys get yours, or if you read up on it on the Enya website, they cover everything you can do with the looper. You can open the tuner actually as well using the two middle buttons. You just click those together and it just snaps the tuner onto the screen here. And then you can tune your guitar. It mutes it too, and the tuning is the same as just about any other tuning app you would have. You know, you've got your note head and it tells you what frequency it's playing at. Then you just tap those two buttons again and suddenly, hey, I'm back to playing guitar. Then if you want to access the looper, you tap these first two buttons and voila, I'm in the loop. And so if I want to record, I can hit the first one. If I want to stop or cancel my recording, I can hit the second one, and so on. Each of the buttons has a feature. Again, like I said, for my loop, I've only used the record and the stop and start. Also, double tapping while you're doing a loop, you can head back into the tone interface and change what tone you're using mid-loop. You guys might have noticed at the start loop that I played for the Entertainer, the bass track comes in as the second layer. And I did that just by, again, clicking these two, changing and clicking back. I cut out the loop that I waited for in that first intro playthrough, just to save you guys time so you can hear what all the loops sound like together. But apart from that, this is an awesome little gadget, and it's cool to see. I mean, I've never seen anything like this. I'm sure it probably exists with other products, but it is awesome to see such a lightweight, easy, portable, and chargeable device, as well as the microphone is also chargeable using the USB-C cables. It's excellent to see something so lightweight and easy and portable to just be part of this package, but it allows you to do so much in regards to the loop and stuff. So yeah, really good stuff in you. Really great. Nailed it on the head with just the features and stuff. I also haven't had any trouble with any of the tech as far as software issues go or things not working. Everything has been working extremely smoothly. Charging my guitar, charging all of these, using them, connectivity, all great. Using the Bluetooth, using the phone, using the app, 100%. One other super cool thing that Enya provides you with when you buy the kit is this stand for the guitar. Now the stand can actually be plugged into with a USB-C cable. I don't know if you can see it at the back there. And you can place the guitar in this little socket here, and it charges it while it's on the stand. Fits in really nicely. It just kind of locks into place. Just like that. This wouldn't be an Enya product if you weren't provided with a super sleek and comfy travel case. And you guys, I don't know if you can tell from the video, but this case is very small, but perfectly sized for the guitar. Very, very secure. It's kind of got that soft padding on the inside and that hard padding on the outside. I'd still call it a soft case, but I think with a guitar like this, you probably wouldn't want to carry it around in a hard case anyway. You want something lightweight that's easy to kind of maneuver. Really nice case. I love this case. It's great. One really great thing Enya have done for the guitar itself is the availability for you to kind of tinker with tones inside the app. The Enya app is awesome. There are a bunch of presets that you can choose from. I made my own tones for the demo at the start and just kind of anything that you've heard over the course of the video. My tones are pretty simple. There's an acoustic tone, which sounds actually drastically different to like the electric and drivey tones. Not that it's less distorted, but there is literally more of an acoustic ambiance to the actual timbre of the instrument, which is super cool. Like the fact that they've done that so smoothly without it sounding tacky, or like, you know, when you play guitar in GarageBand on a keyboard and it sounds really tinny. So that's awesome. So you've got all these different presets that you can work with, and what you can do using the Enya app is you can actually program it so that when you're using the foot switch, each of these tones is responsible for one of the 4 different allocations you got on the foot switch. So you can edit your tones, and then using the foot switch, make sure you're using those tones when you're playing or looping or whatever you want to be doing with it. Everything that you can do on that app in terms of tone testing and managing can be done here on the actual panel. I won't go into detail. There's plenty of other people that have gone into great detail as to how to do that. Just a rough review and kind of quick overview, that's another option that you have. I don't see why you wouldn't use the foot switch, but you know, some people like to be a little bit more hands-on, and hey, look, if the foot switch, maybe you forgot to charge it, but you charged the guitar, you still got that option there, so that's awesome. Connecting to Bluetooth is also done here. Opening the tuner is done here as well. Just basically the entirety of all of the functions that you're getting, all the fancy sci-fi space age guitar functions that you would normally have to buy separate third-party loopers and things for, they're all part of the guitar, and they're all in the module. The guitar itself is made out of a carbon fiber composite, nice durable material that doesn't kind of fall susceptible to weather and climate and things like that. And our frets are not stainless steel, they are nickel silver, which is still a pretty trusty and hardy fret material, but obviously, unlike stainless steel, it is going to wear a little bit. And so that's something to look out for, but honestly, I don't think it's a problem you're going to run into. So just to wrap up with some of my closing thoughts and to summarize what I think about this guitar in total, overall, my general consensus with the Enya NEXG2 is big thumbs up. It is a wonderful kind of busking, practicing, performing guitar. I think it does all of those things. Depending on what kind of guitar player you are, you could pretty much use it in any of those facets. And then to second that, it can literally be a statement piece in a lounge that you use as a Bluetooth speaker or as like a karaoke machine. Hand the mic to one of your friends, you know, and have a bit of fun with it in that way too. It's well built, well designed, nicely cut frets, obviously perfectly cut frets, arguably. Nicely shaped neck, very comfy to play on. The carbon fiber has enough grip that you're not whizzing around, but also not to the point where it's actually halting your hand moving. Perfect stainless steel tuning pegs, which keep the guitar in tune really nicely. Comfy, portable, kind of futuristic-y looking, relatively lightweight. I think the quality of the Bluetooth speaker as well is just crazy. I've used a few Bluetooth speakers in my time teaching and working in the music industry, and this thing is, it's just like, I can't describe to you how kind of on the dot it is when it comes to getting a great acoustic tone. Some of my cons with this guitar, and there are some, are probably the biggest one is the octave pedal or the octave effect that you can use for the guitar is a little bit lacking. I think it requires quite a bit of computing power to get an octave sounding really good, but also have that instant response once you strike the strings. So that's a little bit lackluster on this guitar, and probably my only other kind of measly little meh when it comes to it is I didn't get a power adapter for the part of the world I'm living in, so I had to go and get that myself. But those two things aside, very, very pleased. I will be using this guitar for both teaching as well as gigging, and I am super pleased. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you do pick one of these up, let me know if you liked it, because I certainly like mine. Catch you next time.